This is not bad. I'm just checking down there to see how the recording is going. It's I think my right eye is red. I am red. Just had a shower, shave, and here I am. So, um, you guys cannot possibly know this, but I used to have hair. I used to have a lot of hair. Growing up, I hated cutting my hair. I just let it grow until it became unwieldy. I'd go and get some of it cut, but then never liked the shortcut. Um, um, reason for it is, well, you can see my face. My face is round. It's rotund, and of course, it doesn't help, that I am the weight I am, and the fact that I've been overweight most of my life. I I just couldn't stand it. I couldn't stand it. And one thing that saved me when I was in my teens is the ability to grow a goatee. So that kind of elongates your face if you let it grow, creates the shape, and yeah, long hair. And long hair has been my my shield, my armor. The beard as well, just the unkempt look. Felt like an additional layer I could hide behind. And I just never felt comfortable with close shaving, with trimming, with not having stuff obscuring my face, masking probably decades of body dysmorphia, if you will, just a dislike for what I see in the mirror. I can't even looking at this now. I'm like, why am I doing this to myself? But it's something that bears talking about, and I know I'm not the only one. You see this again on any social media platform all the time. This idea of body positivity, of being at peace with yourself, with how you look, with how you are. I don't like the idea of body positivity, unless it's something you feel, and you've come to through this process of living and examining things, because again, life is a process, really. If you've lived a fair bit and you've examined life and you've paid attention to things and to yourself, to what's within you and what's outside of you, and you've come to the conclusion that how all of it interplays, how all of it intertwines, how all of it works. If you've come to the conclusion that makes sense to you and it's fine the way it is, that's fantastic. That is the best thing. That's the best mindset you can have. The best feeling you can have. The absence of feeling about discomfort, about whether things fit right, clothes, or whether your looks right, are set right, or whether the light is right, or whether the haircut is fine, or whether you makeup, if you use any, whether your weight is right or not, whether your shapes are right or not. It's nice not to have to think about that. And again, if you've come to a place where you feel comfortable through living, just living and observing and letting yourself go through all of this, more power to you. But for many of us, this is always going to be a struggle. For many of us, this is just not going to go away. This constant checking of our reflection in whatever reflects it, in whatever surface that can reflect me back. I can't help it but look, and not like Narcissus who falls in love with himself, but the other way around. You're like, is that me? Is that really how I look? And then you try and adjust, You try and adjust like a puppet, and you don't see the puppeteer, but you're just kind of seeing a reflection of yourself and you straighten back a little bit, you pull your neck a little bit so it doesn't sag too much, you try and open your eyes a bit wider, you suck in your tummy if you can, you just do all of those micro adjustments all the time. It's exhausting. I've written about it in my blog as well, a while back. And that's not to say I'm complaining. No, it is what it is. Again, some of us will not be happy with how we look, with how we present ourselves. And I agree. Beauty that's only skin deep is kind of shallow, but it's still beautiful. And it's still something that attracts us, something that pulls us towards other people or towards things in nature or art. That's beauty in all of its shapes and forms and sizes. But again, I don't know what the formula is because I never really thought about it much. But there is something about beauty that just pulls you in. And there is something about mediocrity and shallowness, and triteness and ugliness that doesn't pull in really. There's a morbid curiosity about it. And maybe some people are capable of seeing through and seeing beauty in the things that are imperfect. I try to be one of those people. But that takes effort. Whereas beauty is effortless in the way we perceive it. We don't need to try and see it. It's just there, and it's in its abundance and its clear image, in its presentation, in its presence. Heck, glory. I mean, again, I'm an atheist. I don't really, but it's a word. You can use that. And it's grace. You can use those words to describe beauty that comes about naturally, whatever that is, and if you don't feel that way about yourself, you don't have to try and mentally play with this. You just have to work through it. And I know it's harsh to say it, but I've realized this for myself a while back with the hair situation, that I just kept, for the past 15 years, I just kept thinking about it. Unfortunately, I've been suffering with acne conglobata, cystic acne. It affected my entire scalp. And I just kept losing hair. My father also doesn't really have much hair on his head, so genetics play a role in that. Stress, sure. Depression, of course. But mostly just the fact that every time I run my hand through my hair, I could see the strands in my hands. I could feel the thinness. I would look myself, get in an elevator, you look in the glass panel and the harsh light just reveals the stuff you don't want to see. And you just keep doing this and that and this, and just try and cover it up. But I got enough. I couldn't take anymore of doing that. It was very unpleasant, very scary, it was shocking to me as well to take the shaver and shave this scalp of mine. But that was 3 months ago, and I've let go. And this weight just shifted off me, just this weight of how are people going to accept, whether people are going to accept me the way I am. And let me tell you, people accept you the way you are because they don't care. I mean, those who care, they're taken aback. They're like, oh, I remember you this way, but now you're that way. And I'm like, yes, because I've been alive for 37 plus years, and throughout that time I've been a certain way, and then a different way, and then a third way, and a fifth way, and a 10th way, because change is inexorable. Fate is inexorable, if you will. Our bodies go through these transformations. It's a living thing. It's a constantly shifting, a system that constantly shifts and adjusts and changes based on environment, based on internal and external factors. Um, and yes, it's very likely that you don't meet the same person twice in your life. Give it enough space. So just take, for example, any relationship you've had in the past. Recall the person then. Recall yourself then. If you have photos, look at them. And look at that same person and yourself 10 years later if you have the chance to. You're different people. You're completely different people. You have a shared common thing, but physically, mentally, a lot is changing. And the older we get, yes, change slows down, but we're still changing. And we'll continue to do so for as long as we live. Now, I'll just leave you with this. Look, as a technocrat, as somebody who absolutely loves the idea of cybernetics, of artificial intelligence, of biomechanics and engineering and playing with DNA and so on, I'm all for it. If there is a way for me to get a permanent head of hair, I'd go for it. And there are ways. There are ways to transplant hair. There are ways to get wigs that are unrecognizably good. Just uncanny how good wigs get these days. But they all need maintenance. All of that needs work. It costs money. And at this point in my life, I don't think it's worth it. Prove me wrong. If you think it's worth for you, go ahead and do it. By all means, please. But yeah, set your expectations right. If it's unbearable, take the step. If it isn't, live. See how it goes. Thanks for listening to this. I will edit it maybe a little bit, and then I will share it with you. Don't know why I'm saying this now, because realistically you're still watching. But yeah, I'll see you in another video. Take care.